Hi, Mrs. Drent. This is my audience.
Hola.
Does anyone really know what they want to be when they grow up? Well, I knew from the start what I wanted to be, a nurse. I had many aunts and friends' moms that were nurses, and I just thought it was cool when I saw them in their uniforms. Finally, when I decided that I really wanted to become a nurse, I got into the right college and I chose the right classes. I interviewed Robin Westman. She is a nurse at HCL, Home for Creative Living. I am a DSP at HCL, and this is where I met Robin. I set up the interview when I was at work and ended up giving the interview while I was at work. The reason I chose Robin for my interviewee is because I look up to her. She is amazing not only as a nurse but as a person. You can talk to Robin about anything and everything, whether it's good or bad, and you will have a kick out of it. When interviewing Robin, I was completely comfortable and we communicated well. The first question that I asked her, why did you decide to become a nurse? Her response was, when she was little, her grandma said, "You have a sweet voice and you're so kind." She worked in a nursing home for a while. She always wanted more than working in a nursing home. The people at the home taught her more to become a nurse, how to become a nurse. Before she became a nurse, she always had a fear of death and dying. The second question that I asked her, what was your education level and past training? She replied with, she went to Minnesota West for 2.5 years, which is where I'm going. Her past jobs were Butterfield Foods, Sather's, the nursing home, and now previous a nurse at Home for Creative Living. The third question that I asked, what is the most important thing you have learned? She said, compassion. Taught by an RN that she worked with, that nurse is 1% and 99% heart. The fourth question I asked, how have you changed? She got over the fear of death and dying. For her, it's saying goodbye. She used to be afraid of disabled, but now she is not, because that's all she works with. The fifth question I asked was, what type of communication is used more? She said face-to-face. Question 6 that I asked was, how important is being an effective communicator? She said that it is very important and that direct people in training, teaching changes so they have best physical qualities of life. Question 7, what age do you encounter most? And she replied with adults and elderly. And then the last question, does your job focus more on listening or speaking? She replied with listening because she has to listen to the DSP because we work with the individuals and then we have to tell her. In conclusion, after interviewing Robin, I learned many things, that it is tough to be a nurse, but you always have a great time at it. I learned that you shouldn't fear the death of anyone. All you're doing is saying your goodbyes. And I also have learned that being a nurse is a great career I have chosen. I believe that I am equipped to fulfill my job. I absolutely love what I do now. I take care of disabled and past meds. I cannot wait to be a nurse. I found this quote on the internet that I thought fit this. We often think of nursing as giving meds on time, checking an x-ray to see if the doctor needs to be called, or taking an admission at 2 a.m. with a smile on our faces. Too often, we forget all the other things that make our job what it truly is, caring and having a desire to make a difference.